Dumb. Cool.
Weird.
Podcast.
Comedy of Terrors was a good movie, entertaining, but not scary, like I was hoping it would be.
Yeah, so it's got, Vincent Price in his heyday, along with two aging actors, Boris Karloff and Peter Lorre. Both look like fucking straight up dog shit. You can only imagine their breath was pretty bad.
Well, at least they weren't Bela Lugosi, who had the blackened teeth of alcoholism.
Yeah, well, they all weren't really doing too good around that time.
No, I mean, I really think Vincent Price was drinking the whole movie.
Probably
For
was.
real.
It was pretty funny.
I don't think they wrote a script for him. They were just like, Vincent, just say whatever.
Yeah, basically, the Vincent Price and Peter Lorre play these undertakers
Who kill people
for money because they, basically Vincent Price has run his father-in-law's business into the ground. His father-in-law is Boris Karloff, and he's married to his young hot daughter.
Yeah,
It's
very,
fun.
very hot.
Terrible singer though.
Terrible singer.
But it's basically just a screwball comedy where
they try to kill the landlord.
Yeah.
I love the scene where they killed that one old guy who owns the fleet of ships.
Yeah.
And his wife just leaves with all the shit in the house and goes to Europe.
Yep. Basically goes and gets fucked by a bunch of European guys, probably some French guys.
Probably. I love how he's like, where did she go? Who's gonna pay the fee? And then
he looks up. He looks up, and he's like, "Is there no morality in the world?
Is there no more morality in the world?"
Yeah, and then they turn the light on him, and it's actually really funny.
Yeah,
it's basically a screwball comedy. There's a lot of weird sound effects and shit. Like for instance, like when she sings, she breaks the glasses, she upsets the cat. By the way, the cat's like one of the stars of the movie.
Actually, has a credited role.
Yep, he does a good job. Good little kitty.
Good cat.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, basically he just goes into madness because he's just like, well,
my alcoholism is killing me.
And we got to find a way to make money. So basically, he just comes to Peter Lorre's character, and he's like, "Oh, we gotta do the thing again." And he's like,
"We're gonna kill
again."
I love how he's like, "We're going to take out two birds with one pillow."
And I just love how Vincent Price is just hamming it up in this movie. He's just so eccentric and saying just like it's like Nick said, like when we were watching it, he was like, "Oh, it sounds like what he did is when he was a kid, he just read a
fucking dictionary." I'm gonna say all of these words in one movie.
Yep, he pretty much got it all out of his system in this movie.
The way he was talking shit to his wife, though.
Yeah, I mean the plot is really just the business is failing. Vincent Price goes and kills people. They basically skim stuff off the top. Like, basically, they've been using the same fucking casket for the past 13 years.
Yeah.
They dump the body into the grave, they bury it, and then they take the casket.
Yep.
Just to cut corners. And, the old man that started the business is a fucking, just a senile old man, and Vincent Price was trying to give him fucking poison throughout the whole fucking movie.
I love he's like, "Here's your medicine, old man." Yeah. "Oh, my medicine."
And she's like, "How dare you try to kill my father?"
And Vincent Karloff is like, "Why won't you let me take my medicine? Yeah. What do you want me to do? Go in the night?"
Yeah, Boris is just ready to fucking die, dude. And they basically kill. You see their first victim, and then they kill the other guy. And the lady runs out with the money, and then they're like, "Well, what are we gonna do now?" And then Vincent's like, "Well, why didn't I think of it before? I should kill the
landlord."
Yep, and that's where he comes up with the two birds, one pillow line, and basically they think he's dead. This motherfucker just keeps coming back to life.
I love how the doctor says he's dead, and the butler's like, "Oh, he dies many times."
Yep, and he just keeps coming back. And then basically they have a funeral for him. Then they bury him. And when they bury him, I was joking, but I was saying that the caretaker of the graveyard is an Irishman, and he turns out he really is an Irishman.
Are they singing the old hard?
Yeah, it's really funny, dude. And then we cut to the night, and basically they're having the 1700s, 1800s version of having a party, I guess.
Yeah. And Vincent Price is throwing all the coins around, and he's drinking a shit ton, and his wife is like, oh, have sex with me. And he's like, there's not enough alcohol in here to have sex with you.
Yeah, she's like, am I really that repulsive? And he's like, that's the word for it. Yeah, and basically what ends up happening, though, is the guy gets let out
By the Irishman.
By the Irishman. The Irishman wakes up and screams at the top of his lungs, turns big ass mouth, and goes back to sleep. And he shows up with an axe, and he's trying to attack everybody. And like basically, Vincent Price is just inebriated, sleeping on the couch, and she's trying to his wife is trying to get all. Apparently, his wife's gonna go be with Peter Lorre, which is disgusting.
Really absurd.
Really absurd. And basically what ends up happening, though, is they end up, getting in a fight with him, the guy with the axe.
And then when they thought they killed him, after Vincent Price shot him like 3 times, the guy's reciting more Shakespeare.
Yep, pretty much.
And then finally croaks, as they thought. And then his wife is like, oh my God, you're a monster. And he chokes her out.
Yep. You think she's dead. You think Peter Lorre's dead. You think the landlord's dead. And Vincent Price is like, oh, well, if I can't beat him.
Join him.
Yeah, because basically the guy comes in the house and he's like, oh, I heard that Mr. Blackstone was.
Yeah, his butler is like roaming around.
And he's like sees everybody dead. And he's like, police. Like runs away, and then Vincent Price is like, oh, well, if you can't beat him, join them. And then he like falls down, and Boris Karloff, before he comes downstairs, you see Peter Lorre and the lady get up, and they're like, well, let's run away together, and they just leave.
I love how Karloff is like, oh, everything seems in order, as the house is like fucking destroyed.
Yep.
From the fight that ensued,
Yep.
and then he's like,
and then he feeds Vincent.
He's like, oh, you need your medicine. It's a good thing you keep it in your pocket.
And he feeds Vincent Price the poison, and Vincent Price wakes up, and then he has like a very like over the top death where he like holds his chest and fucking falls over on top of the guy.
And I love how Vincent Karloff is like, back in my day, we knew how to live better.
Are you calling him Vincent Karloff?
Yeah, I did.
It's Boris Karloff.
Yeah. Sorry. Drinks. mentally watching Vincent Price and all the movie is really all about Vincent Price.
Yeah, pretty much.
Stupid.
Yeah, but basically it just ends with the guy on the ground is still not dead, and that's
the cat like hops up on his chest and is like like resuscitates him somehow.
Yep, that's pretty much. Can you get her out of that?
Yeah.
I don't want her pooping in there. Out of that box. My cat's in the box. We got to let the cat out of the bag. Get her out of there. Thanks.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah, that's the fucking movie. So what is the dumb, cool, and the weird about this? Let's talk about the dumb.
All right. So the dumb thing is there was definitely an easier way for them to make that money to pay the rent.
Yeah.
Like they could have started selling all the shit in his dad's house, in his father-in-law's house for sure.
Yep, pretty much. I mean, it's the movie's called The Comedy of Horrors, and
there's no horror.
There's no horror. It's just a lot of comedy. But yes, you're right. The dumb part of that whole movie is he's got all those fucking knickknacks and trinkets. They could have sold that and made some money off that. No, let's just kill people.
Yeah, and then the weirdest part. I think the weirdest part is the fact that guy keeps dying and waking up. Like he's only a functioning human being during the day.
Yeah.
And then at night he becomes a Shakespearean actor and goes on an ass whooping spree.
Yeah, pretty much. That is fucking weird. Super fucking weird. I think the cool part of the movie, in my opinion, was basically the fact that fucking Vincent Price could hold his liquor, dude.
Yeah. He's drinking the whole movie straight from the bottle.
I've never seen somebody drink so damn much, dude. Like, if I drank that much, dude, I'd be in a fucking facility getting treatment for, like, liver failure, dude.
I know, right? People were built different back then.
They really were. But this is a quick quick review. It's there's not much to it. It's just it's pretty ridiculous. So y'all should check out Comedy of Horrors if you don't mind. It's only an hour and 20-minute movie, so it's a pretty easy watch. So definitely check it out. And we got more shit coming as usual. And website, merch. I know you guys aren't gonna do it.
Just buy something for the love of God.
Yep. So you want to sign us off?
Yeah. Stay sexy, Georgia.
Thanks for checking out the Dumb Cool Weird podcast. We're a movie podcast now, so Movie Monday is every Monday about crappy movies from the 20th century. It's going to be great, folks. I can't wait to show y'all.